everybody, welcome to Ethanol Feed. In this week's video, we're going to review some volume knobs at the New York Auto Show. So we've got about, how many cars are here? A lot. That's a lot of volume knobs, and we're going to turn it up. So getting started with our first review, we have the Ford Expedition. Now this is a big car with a big volume knob. I think it's a little bit shallow though, like me. But yeah, it's a volume knob. They did okay. I give this one about a 5 out of 10. Introducing the 2020 Shelby GT500. So I know what you're thinking. How is this car's volume knob? Well, we're about to find out. This volume knob is really good. I like it. I think it's nice and chunky. It's the right size. It's the right feeling. It's very Murica, meaning it's plastic. I think I'd give this one a solid 7 out of 10. So we're here taking a look at the Lexus LC500. This honestly has one of the best interiors that I've ever been in. You have a metal door handle, which is really interesting in its shape. You have this nice Alcantara, this leather, and everything is absolutely gorgeous. But we're talking about volume knobs, which this one's a little bit hard to find. It's right here, actually. I like its positioning, and it has very good materials. It's got a nice premium metal feel. It's not notchy at all, which I actually think is okay because of the fact that it's really, really smooth. But one thing I will say is that it has this little etching here where it's a little bit hard to see and it's not really readable. So that's just my only criticism of this. But otherwise, I really like this one, and I give this one a 9 out of 10. So you might be wondering, what makes a good volume knob? A good volume knob has good materials, and it feels nice and premium. It is a good size, meaning that it is big enough. A good volume knob is easy to find and located in the right reachable place, and it also has the right clickiness. You want to make sure that you're getting that feedback from your volume knob, and every click has to feel like you're actually making a deliberate change to the sound. Now, when driving a car for boys, it's important that your music can go as loud as its paint. So let's get started. I know how these work. This one's a little bit light to the touch. It's not quite as firm as I'd like. I really do like the rubbery texture on this, as well as the grips that it offers. I hope that the rubber on this volume knob is as grippy as the tires with however much horsepower this has. So far we've checked out the fuckboy car, and right next to that, in the lineup of things, is the pimpmobile. So if you're beyond Drake, you're gonna want to drive a Chrysler. And when you're pimping along, doing your pimpy things, you want to pimp out to some music. And this is not the car to do that because the volume knob is it's kind of cheap. The materials aren't good. The clickiness isn't good. The positioning is easy to find, but not particularly nice. I think this volume knob just basically does it, but doesn't do anything extra. I'll give this one a 3 out of 10. So off here we have a display of somebody who couldn't find their volume knob and was searching for the volume knob and was stuck listening to their boy Drake, and then off comes the bright green car and boom! But luckily, the Honda HR-V is a very safe car, and the world will be okay. So last year, Hyundai had a pretty adequate looking car, and on this year's Sonata, they decided to make it look like this. But as this review is just about volume knobs, we got to get inside to check this out. So On Hyundai's volume knob, you might get a little bit confused at first because they actually have a temperature knob here. Their volume knob is up there, which is just weird. This is weird. Like, you're driving, why would I, like, oh no, I turn on my turn signal. Oh, okay. I think this volume knob is cheap feeling. I think it's in the wrong place. I'm kind of disappointed. I think the volume knob is as good as this car looks. And here we have the new Kia Soul, whose name makes just as much sense as the last one. Hopefully the volume knob in here isn't a square. And check it out! The volume knob is actually round. Unlike this. Anyway, I give it a 4. Its materials are okay. Its positioning is okay. It's just okay. Okay. We could skip these. Here we have the Honda CR-V for your average person who drives in an average way, and it probably has an average volume knob. Confirmed. Over here, we have the Civic Type R. I bet this volume knob has a wing. Actually, I really like this volume knob. It's really firm. The materials are economical. It's a tiny bit small, but it's actually really nice feeling. Pleasant surprise. Considering the fact that last year they didn't have one. I don't like the new Mazda 6. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, not all of our viewers are from Marlboro, New Jersey, but if you are, you would have known that this car is all the hot rage there. And the volume knob in here is a bit small, unlike the average Range Rover driver's Ego. So that's a bit disappointing. Yeah. Introducing the Buick. I would say that this is a midlife crisis car, but honestly, if I saw somebody who bought this, I'd probably think that they were suicidal. I would review the volume knob in this car, but I actually can't find it. I think this is the volume knob, and I also think that this is the volume knob. And I think this looks like a rotary dial for a phone. I think this car looks like an escape pod because you're trying to escape life. I'm sick of this one. Oh dear. There's no volume knob. Yeah, no, this is one of those touch sensor things. And when the car's not on, you actually can't see the oh, okay. So when you press the lights, then like the LED in the back comes on, and this is like one of those like touch sensor volume things, and it's actually a little bit laggy. I don't like this one. So here we have the Mercedes GT Coupe. It is a 4-door car that is a 2-door car that is a 4-door car, and hopefully its volume knob is a little bit simpler and just a volume knob. I don't know if this is a volume knob because of the fact that it doesn't say anything on it. I think the volume controls on the steering wheel are nice, but that's not what this video is about. So here we have Audi's big executive saloon. So if you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and you like to drive yourself, I'm sure you like to change your own volume. And that's exactly what you can do here inside the Audi A8. This is the A8, right? The volume knob in here is actually quite nice. I think it's in a good position, kind of one of those center console things. I think it's easy to reach. I think it's nice and clicky. And they also have that neat little skip and back and forth functionality in the knob just by pushing it like so. It also lights up a little bit, which is kind of jazzy and cool. I really like this. Unfortunately, there are two volume knobs that we wanted to check out that we don't get to, which are Aston Martin and BMW. I was hoping to get to play around with BMW's little no volume knob, swing your finger around, be a little crazy poo, control the music, jamming out, doing fist pumps. I think that's probably what it's for. The more you pump your fist, the more you change the music. Here we have a taco. A taco made in Mexico by a Japanese company. Not made in Mexico, made in Texas. Oops, same thing. But let's see how they're... That's a disgrace. Honestly, that's a disgrace. Oh, come on. I just want to rip it off. That's a 0. I'm sorry. That's a 0. Now, while you're hauling all of the little baby children to go to a camping trip or whatever else, to the mall, you're gonna play with the Toyotas. Honestly. Here we have the Mazda Miata RF. What the RF stands for in this car is really funky jams, where you listen to music that is really fresh, really fun, and really funky. The RF?
Retractable fastback.
Oh, I thought it was really funky. The volume knob in this is in a center console kind of place, a little bit back, kind of cheap feeling, but I think the funk waves can kind of get you through that. So thank you for tuning in to listen about volume knobs. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I hope if you came to the New York Auto Show, you also enjoyed it and you checked out some volume knobs. But this is just a message to our manufacturers. Please don't mess with our volume knobs. We absolutely love them. They're vitally important and some of the most important things we touch in a car. And if you get them wrong, you will definitely see one of us crash and die. So, yeah.